So if you couldn't fail because failure is not an option, because failure isn't real, who would you become? What would you do, ladies and gentlemen, if you couldn't fail? What would you do if you were in a situation where your mind couldn't comprehend an outcome in which you lost? Who would you become? What would you do? What type of person would be bred from that willpower and that self-belief and that confidence? Because it all starts here. The Bible says it, as a man thinketh, so is he. So what do you say about yourself? Who are you? How do you speak to who you are and the goals and the ambitions that you have in your life? You know what I mean? So when you see the goals and ambitions and dreams and aspirations that you have, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a multimillionaire. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthy and have a nice home and take care of your family. But the system will tell you, you have to work, you have to be an employee. When you realize, as we are here in Geneva, that the way to make money, the way to liberate yourself, isn't through the ways of the system. It's not through a 9-to-5. It's through self-development. It's through the understanding of the game. It's through understanding how the system works and understanding how to exploit the system to your advantage, because there's loopholes that were created intentionally by people that created the rules of the system that you abide by. So ladies and gentlemen, if failure was not an option and you couldn't fail and money wasn't an obstacle and money wasn't real, what would you do? Who would you become? What would be bred out of that desire for greatness? I don't know about you, but in my book, in my opinion, I can't lose. Because losing is something that is designed for people that quit and for people that fail. I don't fail, I learn. I reevaluate, I analyze, I cross-examine, I fine-tune, I refine my craft. Maybe not now in my mid-20s, but in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s, in my 70s, in my 80s, in my 100s, I will have refined my craft. Who's holding you back? Who's telling you you can't? You? Or is it the programming inside of you? Maybe it ain't you. So ladies and gentlemen, get woke. Get positive. The world is yours for the taking. Where you are in life right now is exactly where you chose to be, whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not. That is the reality of the situation. There's a plethora of opportunity, access, and information out there for you to become successful, for you to build the life that you want. But the truth is that you don't think it's possible and that you're comfortable with the life that you have. Therefore, you live and operate accordingly. Now, if you want a better life, you have to make better decisions. And I continue emphasizing this point because a lot of you guys don't seem to understand. And since it is a good point, I have to make the point over and over and over again in order for it to be inserted into your brains in a permanent fashion. So if the life that you have is the life that you chose, and where you are right now is by choice, just like I'm standing here in beautiful Geneva, walking at 11:30, and now I'm gonna probably go have some lunch at the garden place right there. I think that's the Windsor Hotel, 1,500 a night. Pretty fucking nice. I chose to be here. I put my video game character here. Where's your video game character right now? Where is it? Where have you positioned it to be? Oh yeah, but my life, my parents, I'm a third world country. I'm from a third world country. Look at me now. What? You can't do it. Who's holding you back? The system, the man, the woman, the ideology, the culture? Fuck all that stuff, bro. If you want to become a high tier individual, and if you want to live life on your own terms and be the wielder of your future, the main character of your life, then you need to start moving with intention. You need to start moving and operating with a lot of power. You need to move as if you own this place, and you will, because if somebody else was able to do it and somebody else was able to be successful in the past, why can't you be that person? So where you are right now in life, whether you believe it or not, is where you chose to be. And that is the truth. So ladies and gentlemen, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? That is the question. Answer it today, because where you are right now is a choice. Choose differently, and you will have different things. I keep telling all my rich friends, yo, come travel with me, come do this stuff with me, come, let's explore, let's hang out in different places of the map. And now, slowly but surely, I'm helping them understand, that to become truly wealthy, you must operate beyond the bounds of money, and you must operate beyond the bounds of what I would like to call the status quo. The status quo is a person that lives a life of reactive behavior, not proactive behavior. A person of proactive behavior is an individual that is in a situation where they control the decisions of their life. A proactive individual lives a life that is in tune and a life of purpose. On the other hand, a reactive individual is an individual that sets up their life based off of the circumstances and the decisions of others. They are reactive. The life that you have right now is most likely based off of reaction and not proaction. So if you want a better life, make better choices.